Alright guys, y'all got to see Carl's new car. So here's mine. This is my junkyard pull apart $2,000 Honda Insight. And it gets all the miles per gallon. So let's check it out.
What's under the hood, Jeff?
It's a 3-cylinder.
What?
It's a 3-cylinder, 1 liter. Well, originally it was a hybrid, but the hybrid battery has failed since, sorry. I just did the free bypass in the back where you just unplug the hybrid computer and it's just gas now. So it still gets about the same mileage, which is like highway when I went to Orlando the other day, going through the hills and stuff, maybe like 53, something like that, 52, 53 mile per gallon.
Well, we're in it. What is it again?
It's about 50.
With me and you in it?
Yeah, but around town a lot, we're like stopping at red lights
Like
and stopping and
35,
eating in it. Well, if it has the hybrid, it has the auto stop feature, and it's not logging any mile per gallon then, but because I've disabled the hybrid without an Arduino box, it doesn't have auto stop and it still logs. So if we're sitting still eating burgers in the car, it's constantly decreasing the mile per gallon, but you can reset it once you get on the road. But like while we're in motion, probably about 50,
Okay.
49, 50, something like that with both of us in there. That's with no hybrid. So I do think like if you have a lot of weight in it, I loaded down with tools. Might want the hybrid, but it's kind of the price of the car, so to buy a new battery.
Oh, okay.
Pretty much all I've done to it is put a belt on it and a valve cover gasket. I hadn't even done plugs.
And you bought this at the junkyard?
I did do, yeah, pull apart in Jackson.
Oh, the used cars that they have. Okay.
Right. I did have to do a radiator right off the bat because it was leaking at the tank, and put new hoses on it. But other than that, like,
And didn't you like go to another junkyard and get panels for it?
Yeah, this is a hood from another one, from a junkyard that actually had 2 of them, and a headlight from the same one, and I think this may be the original bumper. But I did buy, like, the fenders are plastic. This is worthy of mentioning. The body is actually like all aluminum.
Oh, it's like an NSX.
Well,
Yeah,
it was built with the NSXs. It's like completely aluminum, and then your plastic here.
So like this is metal, like steel, but this, not. Okay.
Just the bolt is steel.
Okay.
That's just the bolt.
But the body's aluminum. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like super soft, watch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, don't get in a wreck. Please.
Now you tell me Jeff, all the times I've ridden in it.
I did also, like, the driver's seat bolster was torn and ripped open right here, so I bought another passenger seat from one in the junkyard. And there's no, like, dictation of this being left or right, the way the release is on the inside, so I swapped the fabric and the foam so that I have a seat that's not torn. And I have a 350Z floor mat because you guys know I have a lot of Z parts. And
So like usual, Jeff, he can't just leave it well enough alone when he buys a car. He's got to upgrade it, make it Jeff-like.
Right, like take painter's tape and tape your plastic A-pillar molding on. I did the, look, that's the same Honda shift knob that they do for like the EG Civics and Integras and stuff.
Oh, so it's a
Same part number, and Acura still has it. It was like 36 bucks for the kit. So I did do the shift knob, but like the radio came in it. That's still the same radio. I put the scan gauge in there just so I can monitor things, because we did actually, when we first got the car, take it to the Grand Canyon and to Las Vegas, and it still had hybrid then. I was getting like 64 miles per gallon at that point with the hybrid, but it wasn't like, when you're on the highway, it gets a lot better mileage than when you're in town, because
obviously,
right, you're in lean burn more, where in town you're constantly accelerating or decelerating, and it's harder to stay in lean burn. Lean burn's really the key. Lean burn, so basically it's like a further iteration of 3-stage VTEC.
Hey, where'd you go?
It's a form of VTEC that allows, at part throttle, when you're in like 5th or overdrive cruise, to actually close off one of the valves on each cylinder and go into 3-valve operation. And normally, like on a 4-valve engine, you can go up to like, if you had a standalone, you could tune it for fuel mileage on the highway to go into a lean burn or lean operation at like 17-to-1 air to fuel. But by doing this 3-valve operation, that's just a standard VTEC solenoid and oil pressure activating it, it's actually able to go all the way 20-to-1 without risk of detonation. And that's pretty much where the gas mileage comes from. It's not really because it's electric or hybrid, and it's not really because of the aerodynamics or the fact that it's aluminum. It's just because of being able to be in lean burn. I've seen it in the right condition get 70 and 80 mile per gallon, but being at that speed, you're usually in town. It's like around like 35 to 40 mile per gallon in fourth gear. And in those areas, you're generally going to have stop signs and red lights that's going to negate the advantage anyway. So might be good for like country back roads if you wanted to get, what do they call it, hyper mill, whatever, get the best gas mileage ever. But honestly though, like think about back in the day, 2004, 2005, the Scions came out and they were like, oh my gosh, 40 mile per gallon, and everybody's raving over that.
That was when they were like 1.5 liters or 1.3 liters.
Yeah, it's a 1NZ that they started with, and they were 1.5 or 1.6, maybe. Yeah, I think it was a 1.5. But now those vehicles are getting like 34 or so. People today that are driving first gen XBs, you tell them you used to get 40, and they're like, there's no way this car would never get 40. But I think it has a lot to do with today's fuels too. So like this car being a 2000 to 2006 body style could have potentially gotten better fuel mileage back then with the fuel that we didn't have ethanol at the pumps then. It was real gas then. I'm not saying ethanol's bad, but I don't think that it does as good for mileage as people really thought it did.
Well, I think it's one of those things where doesn't necessarily do good for mileage, but it does good for greenhouse gases.
Right.
And there is a difference between the two.
Right. It doesn't just because you're green doesn't mean you're green.
Right.
We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, we got some work to do, right?
All right. So the cool thing about the way they built this car is they use a lot of the same parts between different models. And the lock motor that we're changing here, actually, this is like $16 off of Amazon. It's actually the same lock for like a Honda Accord or a CR-V and a lot of other vehicles. You'll probably already notice that it has the S2000 style steering wheel, and this dash layout is similar to the S2000. But another thing that they reuse, like the window switch over there, that's actually a Honda Accord, like a 2000, I think.
The switch itself?
Yeah, the switch itself is
they're
from
in
the
the door
2000.
on the
Yeah,
Honda
right. It's the exact same switch. I think even that lock switch over there on the driver door may actually be the same lock switch from like an EK Civic or a Honda Accord too. So a lot of the parts interchange here, even though it is such a different vehicle. Yeah. So.
Smart manufacturing.
Well, actually, a cool manufacturing fact is these were built in the same plant as the NSX. I am a mere peasant in the NSX game.
We're just over here with old Corollas and Cressidas.
Well, I mean, to be realistic, when I started all this, probably about the same time you did, like, Corollas were $300 cars. So,
Yeah.
that's why we like them, because we can afford that.
Yeah. Fast and Furious came out and like everything was really expensive, and let me go find something that's cool but not expensive.
Man, I remember the day Honda Civic, like an EK hatch, was like, man, I sold mine for $8,400. No, I sold that. That was my EG. I sold the EK for like $8,900 at some point. That's ridiculous. And now they're like, you can't hardly give them away. Sad, because those are really good cars.
Would you say that's the advent of drifting becoming a popular, so therefore rear-wheel drive cars are more popular?
Probably has a lot to do with it. But I do think like this late gas crisis thing that's happening is probably going to drive a lot of people back, because like tires are twice as much. If you want to go drifting, it's not $80 a tire anymore. It's $150 a tire, and maybe $120 if you find some cheap ones. entry fees are just getting bigger and bigger. Which there were some local events lately that did. I think Mid Pond did like a $100 day special, which was really good for that facility in my opinion. I haven't been there. And then NOLA, I think that one coming up is $100. So some of them are like $300 weekends all of a sudden, but now as everything is slowing down because of the economy, I think less and less people are going to the track and just using $1,000, $1,200 a weekend in consumables. And maybe some of the cool cars like the Civics that didn't get molested and raped will get another chance because they were cool. That was a cool day. To be truthful, I have no idea how this door panel comes off. So
guys, if you saw our 350Z video, this is the exact opposite. You don't know what he's doing.
Right. In this situation, Jeff is out of his element.
Yeah.
Not really.
Does Jeff ever really know what he's doing?
All right, how does it come off, Carl?
Does it go up now?
I don't know. It doesn't seem to.
Seems like something's still holding it on.
Yeah, definitely. What's holding this thing? Oh, shit. Okay.
Oh, there's one. Oh.
They're hiding in there. I saw this one. I
Oh.
just couldn't see that from the angle I'm at.
And guys, if you're watching this video and you have a Honda Insight or you're thinking about getting a Honda Insight, you got more questions, leave a comment below. Or if you want to know how to fix something, maybe Jeff has encountered it. We could talk about it just like we do with the 350Z videos.
I'm starting to figure a few things out on these cars. The stuff that I still need to learn on is the hybrid system. Like there's this thing. So with the free hybrid bypass where you just unplug the hybrid computer basically, something to do with the RPM being over 4,000 RPM, it would overcharge if it allowed it to keep charging. So the DC-DC converter, this factory, shuts off and then it stops charging the front battery for 30 seconds. And you can do some aftermarket Arduino box and wire an aftermarket converter in and make it where it charges right all the time. But I don't understand how that works. We're still wrapping our brain around that stuff. I'm just going by the keep it simple method here because there's a lot of things I could spend money on. Like I could put brand new tires on and I could do a lot of maintenance that it probably won't really even need to serve me well. So I'm kind of like, I found what I could in the junkyard and it's just a less is more, like $16 or $20 for this thing and then the 3D printed piece for the back. I'm just taking my time with this instead of just throwing all the money and fire at it.
Yeah, because like you got the Tahoe, but that's for towing your drift vehicles. And you got the 350Z, the S13, those are drift cars.
Right.
This is kind of meant to be the cheap on gas, just go to town, get stuff car that you're not going to spend.
Well, we wore my old Tahoe out.
Yeah.
Just running around in it. And I didn't really need to do that. I could have done that with a car like this.
Yeah, if you remember, guys, in the first season, that's pretty much the vehicle of choice everywhere me and Jeff went. So now we either go in this car or we go in my Mark II. Or if we're hanging out with Raven, we'll take her Scion.
At this point, I still don't know what I'm doing, but we're going to figure it out.
Moments later. More moments later.
Light anywhere. I'm having to hold the light and the thing. I got it swapped out. I just don't know, like, this little thing on the back, I don't know if it's like hooked into the right thing or not. So I'm going to put the 2 screws in and test it. Oh, that's the window. That's the lock one over here. This is for the window on this side. Is it? Yeah, this is window only. Hit the lock thing. Do it again. Do it again.
Lock.
Yeah, lock.
Unlock.
Unlock.
Lock.
Go ahead.
Unlock.
Does the same thing it did before. Lock it. If there's any resistance on it, it doesn't go. Do it again.
Lock. Unlock.
Do it.
Lock.
Maybe
So
that
what was
one
it
will
doing
hold up. Sometimes it just doesn't unlock. Sometimes it doesn't lock. It's common. It's a common part to fail.
But now it's fixed.
I hope so.
I feel like that corner.
Oh, shit.
Trying to call?
My phone's calling Preston.
It would seem that the guy who took off would know. But we're just amateurs over here. We don't know what we're doing. We don't even have 5,000 subscribers. We don't know what's going on.
I've never worked on a car before in my life. When I got here today, they asked me to do this, and I was like, you got the wrong guy completely. You want me to pretend this is my car?
I'm just a TV talent here. Where's my stand-in that does all the real work, right?
How do you guys think I keep my hands clean all the time?
I'm just the guy who cleans up the shop when it's done. Oh, what y'all talking about? That's why I'm always sweeping.
Try it again. Just to make sure it still works.
Take two.
No, really try it. I'm serious.
What?
Try the lock.
Oh. Locked.
Unlock.
Unlock.
Okay, lock it. Yeah, it's shutting. It's a strange mechanism they got going on, but it's fixed.
Alright. Ain't no Toyota or GM stuff you're used to working on.
Now, if it was Toyota, the locks would just be like,
Insert clip from Mark II. There it goes, it's doing. So,
how did things get this way? We should really fix that.
yeah, Toyota, they look like they have a seizure. Or it's like Toyota's locks like, don't tase me, bro.
Don't tase me, bro! Don't tase me!
Smart locks. Here's a series of videos that we don't really know what we're doing.
They're not technical
Hope you
videos,
enjoy,
they're just
guys.
vlogs. We don't know if this is gonna work or not.
This is working. It just worked.
Yeah, now we know it's gonna work.
Okay.
So what we're trying to say, guys, is that when it's a vlog, it's because Jeff has no idea if this is gonna work or not. If it's a technical video, Jeff is 100% sure what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about.
The key to the car. Oh.
Sorry, I was gonna ask you, could you turn the car around since the hatch is in the sun?
Okay, Carl. We'll put the hatch in the shade for you.
Thank you. He's got instructions, guys.
Yes, we have paper instructions this time.
We don't need no digital instructions. This is 2002.
Well, he actually made a video too showing how to do it.
Okay.
But I'm not really going to go to the video until after we get maybe to the piece.
Okay. Wait, Jeff, you're gonna go watch a YouTube video to make a YouTube video?
Of course. That's what aggravated me to the point I wanted to make YouTube videos. All the crappy videos that don't really show you. Like, for example, the one that I just watched in the middle of this vlog of the guy changing out the door motor. Oh, it's on this side now.
Oh, yeah.
He literally cuts frame and then comes back with it outside the car in his hand. And I'm like, I totally didn't even see what I needed to see at this point. That was the most important piece of the video, is how to remove it once you've got the bolts out of
Because he
it.
spent an hour
Maybe.
and didn't want to put it back in just
Maybe,
to show
but
it.
at least this guy he said, instead of, oh, well, I finally got it out, let's move on, he said, I did get it out, it took me a minute, I had to just
Wait,
pull it forward.
Should we do like every other YouTuber and go and then cut to this part done?
All right, that's it, guys. Oh, no, let me. Yep, all right, that's the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you in the next one.
Said every other YouTuber.
Literally. I came to watch this video to figure out how to fix my shit. Come on. Give me a break, people.
Little plastic piece.
This thing, listen. In there. It's the motor like what we just did in the door, but this one you can actually open it up, and then there's this piece inside of it that's broken. And I don't know if this is PETG or PLA, but some guy 3D prints these.
We're gonna start.
And this
3D
is a
printing.
replacement gear with this little It's a 2-piece. I don't know. We'll see in a minute.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna start 3D printing some stuff, right, Jeff? We've ordered one.
Yes, we have a 3D printer on the way. And
Here.
we have many ideas of things to print. Hopefully we will not get so sidetracked that we don't complete any.
We're gonna turn into a manufacturing empire. Oh yeah.
Well, they had a, you know, it was a Prime Day deal, you know. I was actually shopping and it was coincidentally Prime Day, but they had the printer for like $100 off, so I went ahead and ordered the laser engraver too.
Ooh.
The Falcon.
And on a side note, we ordered Carl a big boy office chair, so you don't have to sit on that kitchen chair anymore. Which we'll do a whole video about that.
You don't like the kitchen chair?
Not on the 3D printer, but a whole video on the office chair.
Well, that's what I was hoping we were gonna do. That's what this channel's about. What's the best office chair, right?
Right. For a guy my size. Right?
Today, it's a 2001 Honda Insight.
Which, funny enough, guys, I can actually fit in and drive. It's not too small for me to drive. I've driven it before. So if you're a big guy, if you happen to be a big guy, you can drive and fit in one of these things and move around.
I will say this, like if you're thinking about getting one of these and you're the type of person that you have to be at work at 9 and you leave the house at 9:55 or 9:50 and you got to stop by Starbucks and you're rushing everywhere you go, it's probably not the car for you. It's going to go like 30 miles per gallon. Like I said earlier, the key is keeping it in lean burn, and you have to think of driving to town. Like I'm only 3.2, maybe 4 miles.
Yeah.
Let's say 4 miles, give or take, to town here, and there's hills and then there's turns, and you have to think of like coasting to town rather than driving on the engine. Because if you're driving on the engine, it's a 1-liter 3-cylinder. Of course,
Yeah.
you're going to be giving it a lot of gas. So the key is to get your speed downhill and then lose some uphill, sacrifice some uphill. It's much easier to gain it downhill. So as I remove that, yeah, there's something in here I got to replace. There's supposed to be something broken. I think it's once you pull this out. All right, 5A and 5B. Remove the lower gear, 6A. So basically he's saying take this out.
Came apart in 2 pieces?
Yeah, it's 2 pieces like the new one.
Got it?
Yeah. Somehow. So this is basically what was broken. This little guy, and it was just letting it skip. Somehow.
Basically go
No, it was just it was turning the motor, but it wouldn't go anywhere. Okay. Gonna clean my hands. On these plastic pieces, I always like to take the screw and turn it back until it like lines up and you feel it lock into the tooth, because yeah, it's plastic, you could just run a new screw in it, but that's how things get stripped out over a short amount of time usually, especially when they're old.
Yeah, I saw you doing that with the door.
All right. Let's see if we did a good job.
I know we did a good job, Jeff.
You
I
think so?
believe in us.
At least one of us believes in us.
First thing we're gonna want to do is orient it right, so this will go in.
Soon after.
We're gonna do just like all the other YouTubers. We're gonna jump cut to it's in. After watching YouTube videos that did the same thing, we did the same thing.
Even the one for the part, there's a video other than the paper thing, and he just jump cut too because it's kind of a pain in the ass to get to. But what I did was loosen these bolts up here. Actually took one out so that the lock itself could let some of the tension off, and then that just snapped into place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna have to like, this should be a drift car video so we could keep it interesting. Because you guys are probably tired of watching me fiddle with this thing.
Drift.
That
this thing ain't gonna drift. Front wheel drive.
Oh, yeah. You saw Chelsea Genova. He drifts front wheel drives. I can do it too. Alright, so before we had to use the key every time. Nice. Oh, look, it has my flashlight in it. And it still worked. Very good. Very good. It's a good thing my flashlight didn't bust that glass.
Yeah.
I know where another one is. Something I don't understand. How did they get away with selling this car on the US market with no emergency hatch release? So like if somebody was trapped back here and couldn't get past the seat, like, you're in there.
Couldn't get past the seat?
You don't know, man. You don't know. All right, I'm gonna fire this UFO up and take it to the yard. I told you it would drift.
Yeah, okay.
Now let's go show them how fast it is.
42?
Well,
Are we even moving?
so that's the average from accelerating
Okay.
and then coasting.
So we're gonna...
I'm gonna get it out here in the highway and reset it so you can see what it would be just coasting. Now it's not 100% true because you have to accelerate to get a car up to speed to begin with.
Of course.
Yeah, so hopefully you guys like this. I don't know, maybe we'll make some more vlog content like this. Seemed like you guys like the technical videos, but you guys let us know if you want more just vlog stuff where we don't really know what we're doing. Yeah.
We never know what we're doing.
Right. Or do we?
Or do we?
Yeah. See you next time. All right, we've gone about 10 miles. I think that's a pretty good overview and